Today's daily dose of math is practice in filling out a check. When we fill in a check, we have certain fields that we have to enter the information correctly, or else the check won't be considered good by the bank. The mandatory fields are the date, the recipient, the amount, and we write the amount both in English in words and in numbers. We also have the memo field, which is optional but very useful to remind us of why we wrote the check, or to remind the person who received the check of why they're receiving it. The date can be entered in more than one way. There's more than one way of writing a date. When I fill in a check, I like to write the date in this fashion. We have the 10th of June 2000. I write June 10, 2020. Yes, 2020. Then the amount, I'll fill in that next. It's already written here in numbers, so I write it the same way, 51.51. It's important, of course, to have the decimal legible. Otherwise, this represents a different amount of money than you thought. But that's one of the reasons why we also fill in the amount in words, because that way the person in the bank who's dealing with the check is able to compare what's written in numbers with what's written in words to make sure that it is clear what the amount is. So writing it out in words, we are writing 51 dollars, and then at the end of this line we can write the 51 cents. Now the reason we put the line is to make it impossible for someone to add extra words, like say $51,000. And then there's the memo. I'm going to write monthly bill for this one. Finally, I'm writing in pay to the order of. That is the recipient of the check. In this case, it's a company called Tell Us, so I write that here. The check is complete. Now let's look at our second example. Here we have the 21st of July 2020, so I'm writing July 21, 2020. The amount is $200. I write that in numbers, making sure to clearly put my decimal. Pay to the order of, this time it's a company called Telstra. Writing the amount in words, I'm writing 200 draw my line, and because it's $200 even, what I do is I put XX to show that it's 0.00 and match the amount that's written in this box. Finally, the memo, it could be repayment of past due. Why would I be spending a amount like $200 in a check to a phone company? Well, perhaps I have built up a debt to them. I'm trying to pay it off. This month I can manage to give them $200. So I remind myself and I remind them of the reason that I'm doing it. This is all that it takes to fill in a check. It requires the skill of being able to write numbers in English, which is the subject of one of my other videos. And it is an easy thing to do, but it is important to get the details correct so that you don't write a check that will be invalid for some reason. That is today's daily dose of math. Please like, subscribe, and share.